Namaste Saraswati Gaurvani Prachari Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Vishatari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Balram ki jai, Gaur Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande. So we'll offer some prayers. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta, Swami Namine, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gaurvani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschatya Deshatarine, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So we will be reading from today Bhagavad Gita, third chapter, 27 to 29 verse. So those who have the books, they can open the book. So we can keep our phones on silent mode or switch it off. So we'll chant the shloka. Prakrtihe kriyamanani Prakrte kriyamanani Gunehe Karmani Sarvashah Gune Karmani Sarvashah Ahankar Vimudhatma Ahankar Vimudhatma Kartaham Iti Mannite Kartaham Iti Mannite Prakrti Kriyamanani Gune Karmani Sarvashah Ahankar Vimudhatma Kartaham iti manyate Prakrti Kriyamanani Gune Karmani Sarvashah Ahankar Vimudhatma Kartaham iti manyate. Prakrti Kriyamanani Gune Karmani Sarvashah Ahankar Vimudhatma Kartaham iti manyate. Anyone like to read translation for you?
Soul is declared by the movements of first degree, gives himself the good of activities that are actually carried out by the three modes of material
So the translation is the bewildered spirit soul under the influence of three modes of material nature thinks himself to be the doer of activities, which are in actuality carried out by nature. Now, bewildered spirit soul. So in material world, all the spirit soul are bewildered. They are bewildered and unable to see the reality in this material world. Just like if a child is watching a puppet show, suppose is watching a puppet show, so then what happens? Sometimes a child can think that these puppets are moving on their own, nobody is controlling them. But actually, at that time, the child is bewildered. He is not aware of the reality. He is thinking like that. Puppets are moving on their own. But there is somebody controlling those puppets. Sometimes you will see when people go to Taj Mahal. So there, now too we have smartphones, but earlier smartphones were not there. So whenever a photographer will take photos of family members, then he would ask them, keep your hand like this. Correct? And when they will see the photos, it will appear like as if they're holding Taj Mahal. Correct? So like that, all of us are thinking, yes, I am controlling this body, this Prakriti is moving under my direction. But Krishna is explaining here, bewildered spirit soul is thinking like that. He is moving this body. This body is moving under direction of material nature. Prakriti kriyamanani. And Prakriti has three ropes which is moving your body. Like puppet, there are strings attached to puppet. So three ropes are moving your body. These three ropes are, which are the three ropes? Three modes: Sattoguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Mode of goodness, mode of passion and mode of ignorance. These three ropes are moving all the puppet-like bodies in this material world. But still we think that I am the doer, I am moving this body. Correct? So Krishna has asked this person as, addressed this person as Ahankar Vimodatma. Vimodatma means, what is the word to word meaning in the book? Huh? ना विमूढ़ात्मा का मतलब क्या लिखा है? अहंकार से मोहित, yes, bewildered by false ego. Or in other places, Krishna has used this word Muda. Muda means foolish. So we are all acting as a foolish person if we think that I am moving this body is moving under my direction. So why it happens like that? Because there is a covering on the Atma. And this covering is called false ego. So between Atma and body, there is a element which is combining both the things. That element is called false ego. Ego means our consciousness. Who am I? That is called ego. False ego means when you falsely think about yourself something of this material world. So when we get a male body, I falsely identify myself with this male body. I think I am a male. When I get a female body, I think I am a female. When I get an Indian body, I think I am Indian. Like that, falsely we are identifying with these body designations. So spiritual life is all about coming out of this false ego. Sarvopadi vidirmuktam tat paratmena nirmalam. That is called spiritual life. Bhagavad Gita is all about becoming free from this false ego. That is, a Bhagavad Gita is not Indian book, Hindu book. No, Bhagavad Gita is above all these upadhis. Krishna is not Indian. Krishna is not Hindu. Hindu God. He is not having any upadhi. Although we designate upadhis, designations to Krishna. Some people say that Krishna is also from UP, I am also from UP. No, Krishna is not from UP, India is like that. He appears like that, but he is not connected to anyone in this creation. He is above all his upadhis. Even we are also not connected to anyone. Every life we change our upadhis, every life we change our countries, families, even male, female bodies, everything changes every life. But unfortunately, all of us have misidentified ourselves with this body. Correct? Like these wars are happening. People are having fighting with this designation. I am Russian, I am Chinese, I am Indian, I am this. People are fighting with each other. They don't know that if they will die, they may have to take birth in some other country, some other place. So they are all bewildered in this world, everybody. Correct? So there is a very nice shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 84th verse, 13th chapter. यस्यात्म बुद्धि कुनुपे त्रिधातुके स्वधि कलत्रादिषु भौम इज्यति यत्तीर्थ बुद्धि सलिलेन कर्हिचित् जनेश विघ्नेषु सएव गोखरा. So it is mentioned yasyatma buddhi kunupe tridhatuke. So this body is made of three elements as per Ayurveda: Cuffe, Pitta, Vayu. Generally, if you go to any Ayurvedic doctor, they will treat you as per your prakriti. So some people have cough issues, pith or vayu like that. In three ways they treat the body. So if somebody misidentifies himself with this body which is made of mucus, bile and air, and not only he misidentifies with himself with this body, then what happens after that? Who assumes his wife and family as permanently his own. So we get a family in this life with this body, and some people are connected with this body, and we think, oh, this is my family, this is my property. Actually, this is all because of false ego. So there is something called false ego, and there is also called real ego. So spiritual life is all about going from false ego to real ego. What is real ego? What is real ego? What is real identity of the spirit soul? Yes.
Eternal service of Krishna.
Real ego is first step to understand I am not this body. I am a product of this material nature. I am actually Atma. I have nothing to do with this body and all the designations which are connected with this body. So then, what is my real position in this creation? So Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Mave amsho jiva loke jiva buddha sanatana mana shashtan indriyani prakriti sthani karshiti. All the jivas are actually part of Krishna's family. We are a part and parcel of Krishna. So when a person thinks his family only connected with few members, 3-4 members, that is actually because of false ego. Real ego means that we all are connected with one family, that is Krishna's family. Yes, as per my karma, when I get in touch with few family members in my life, then how to deal with them? No, you don't have to deal with them as your property. No, you have to deal with them as they are also part and parcel of Krishna. So you also have to make sure that all your family members can become free from this false ego in this life. They can understand the real position of this creation, that they are also part and parcel of Krishna. And they are meant to become free from this false designation in this life. Correct? That is why we use for Grasta life, Grast Ashram. Grast Ashram means family life, which is like ashram, meant for spiritual advancement, not for sense gratification. But if a person thinks these family members are my property and he lives in false ego, so what he will do? He will engage in sense gratification and engage his entire family in those activities. They will never be able to come out of this false ego. So the topmost responsibility of a father and mother is to make sure that the entire family is out of this false ego, false designations. Then who thinks an earthen image or land of his birth is worshipable. So when we take birth, we identify with that land, with that country, and we don't think about anything else. But every life is changing our country. Correct? And who sees a place of pilgrimage as merely the water there, but who never identifies himself with, feels kinship with, worships or even visits those who are wise in spiritual truth. So when we live in false ego, when we live in this bodily concept of life, even when we practice dharma, religion, that is also meant for body only. But actually, when we go to a place of pilgrimage, when we go to a temple, when we follow any spirituality in life, the main purpose is advancement of your Atma, not body. But people go to all these pilgrimage places just to perform some punya, pious activities, so that their material life can improve. Body can become free from all problems, my bank balance can increase, family can become free from all problems. But we have to understand the design of this creation in such a way that everybody has to go through some problems in this world. Samsara dava navnidaloka. This world is compared to like a forest fire. Just like nobody goes to a forest and ignites fire there, correct? It happens on its own. Similarly, the world is designed such a way that padam padam yad vipadama tesham. Every step, something will be there, some problem will come up. Because every moment we are performing some karma, some activity you are doing, and any karma you perform, there is a reaction. So even if you go to a place of pilgrimage and you perform some pious activities, you get rid of all the sinful reactions. Again, if you come back, again you engage in karma, then again some reactions will be there. So this is not the real solution of the problem. The real solution is that we go to a place of pilgrimage, and very important, we take association of a person who is spiritually advanced, who is out of this false ego, who can guide me, what is the purpose of my life. That person will help me to attain goal of life. Just by going to a place of pilgrimage, taking dip in a holy river, that is not going to solve my problem permanently. Correct? So, if a person goes to a place of pilgrimage and he misses out on this very important point, taking association of a spiritually advanced person, then that person is compared to as Gokhara. Gokhara means cow and ass. Human beings are like animals if they live their life in false ego. So this is called real dharma, real spirituality. First step in spirituality, live in this world free from false ego. At least theoretically I have to understand, I am not this body. Okay. So in 3rd canto, 27th verse, 10th chapter it is mentioned, one should be situated in the transcendental position beyond the stages of material consciousness and should be aloof from all other conceptions of life. Thus, realizing freedom from false ego, one should see his own self just as he sees the sun in the sky. Just like you see the sun in the sky, sun is different from entire sky. But because of sun only, entire sky gets illuminated. Correct? Similarly, this soul is there inside the body, and because of this Atma, entire body is working. We are fully conscious of this body. But Atma is different from this entire body. So this consciousness is exhibited in 3 platforms. 3 levels of consciousness we exhibit. One is in the state of Jagrat, wakefulness. Right now we are in the state of Jagrat, wakefulness. When you're fully conscious what is happening around you, your mind is observing everything, your senses are active. That is the stage of Jagrat consciousness. Then when you go to sleep, correct, that is another level of consciousness, that is called Swapna. Swapna level of consciousness. When you go inside a dream, then what happens when you go inside a dream? Then you identify yourself with that dream, you think that this dream is reality, and you're fully absorbed in the dream. But that is also one kind of consciousness. But that time you're not conscious of your body, material body, the external world. And third kind of consciousness is when you go deep inside the sleep. Sometimes next day when you get up, somebody will ask you that, what happened? Did you saw any dream last night? No, I was fully absorbed in sleep. That is called sushupti. So sushupti means when you are fully absorbed in deep sleep. In that consciousness, you don't even observe your dream and other activities. So these three level of consciousness we exhibit in this false sleep. But we are meant to come out of this entire three stages of consciousness. Because Bhagavatam explains one kind of consciousness which we see in our dream, that is also a dream, but in daytime also, this is also another kind of dream. But the length of the dream is very long. This is also another dream. But both are dreaming state. So that is why he mentioned one should be situated in the transcendental position. Transcendental means when you rise above this three level of consciousness. And one should be aloof from all other conceptions of life. Thus, realizing freedom from false ego, one should see his own self. This is called human form life, when we can see ourselves as different from this body. This is a real purpose of human form life. Then in second chapter, 5th canto, 25th verse, we mentioned that factually, save and accept the Lord, no one can be called the enjoyer. But the living entity falsely desires to become the enjoyer. This is the origin of false ego. When the bewildered living being desires this, the shadow elements are generated by the will of the Lord, and the living entities are allowed to run after them as after a phantasmagoria. Why do we get this false ego? This ahankara? Because we think I am the enjoyer. This body belongs to me. So Krishna has explained in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Jagitapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. This entire creation, whatever we see, this entire Prakriti, even this body, is created by someone. We have not designed this body. So the person who has created everything, he is called as a Bhokta, enjoyer in this entire creation. And all of us are part of this Prakriti created by the Lord. We are meant to be enjoyed by the Lord. But when we get this false ego means we are trying to become independent of the Lord. I think I am independent. And my enjoyment, my real happiness is if I can enjoy independent of the Lord. That is how we are trying to enjoy in this world. Everybody is trying to become independent of the Lord. But our real happiness, real ananda is when we are in association with the Lord, when we serve the Lord, then we get real ananda. So because we had this false ego, this false desire to enjoy independent of the Lord, so then what Lord did? He created some false elements in this material world. False sense objects. False identification with this false ego. And then what happens? When the bewildered living being desires this, the shadow elements means shadow means which is not there. Actual substance is not there. It appears there is some substance, you can enjoy it, but the real substance is not there. Real thing is not there. Just like in deserts during hot season, there is a concept of mirage, where you see a water body, and animals when they are thirsty, they run behind that water body. Seems like there is some water. Similarly, it is in this world, in order to fulfill our false desires, Krishna has created this material world with false elements, false objects for enjoyment, and entire life is spent running behind them. Just like a moth gets attracted to fire, and moth is very excited. He is thinking if he can go inside the fire, he will enjoy real ananda, real happiness. So that moth gets very excited and enters into that fire. And what happens next? Burns his own body. So in this world, all the jivas are trying very hard. Everybody is working hard. Somehow squeeze out some happiness independent of the Lord by working very hard in this world. They all are working very hard. But what is happening? Our position is compared to like a moth, simply entering the fire. That is why we can see people are going more in stress, anxiety, depression, so many things, problems are increasing, fights, wars are happening in this world. Why everybody is trying to enjoy, but there is no object, it's all shadow. There is no real element, real substance. Real substance exists only on spiritual platform. Correct? So, like that, in one place, Srila Prabhupada explains, you should be egoistic in right way, as your position is. If you falsely think that I am this, so what is use of such increasing that ego? It is psychologically wrong. Just like a madman thinking, I am the king of this Ahmedabad, and he increases that ego. What benefit he will get? Just like the madman does also. He falls down the street, I am the king. So sometimes a ghost enters inside the body of a person. Have you heard about it? Sometimes ghost enters inside the body of a person. So क्या होता है उसके? So they act in a different way. Their voice also changes. They talk in a different language, and they don't recognize their family members. Correct? Suddenly their way of expression, behavior, everything changes. Body is same, but they act in a different way. But the ghost enters inside the body of a person. Similarly, all of us are ghostly haunted. We are thinking, I am this body, I am male, I am female, I am this, I am Indian, I am Australian, I am this thing, and we are acting in a different way. But our real identity is very different. I am not this body, I am Atma, very different from this body. But Bhagavatam and our scripture explains that we all are ghostly haunted by this Maya, this illusion. And we all are thinking, living this entire life in this body concept. Just like here it mentioned, like a madman. Just like recently we had Narsimha Jayanti play. Somebody was playing the role of Hiranyakashipu, somebody was playing the role of Narsimha Dev. Suppose after that play also, he remains a Hiranyakashipu only. Or Narsimha Dev remains Narsimha Dev only. No, I will be Narsimha Dev only now. Correct? So people will say he has become mad. He's not normal. Like that, Krishna is addressing all of us. Vibhuda Atma, Kartamikti, they all have become mad in this world. They don't know what is the real position. Correct? So then what happens when a person gets transferred from false ego to real ego? When he comes out of his false ego, when he understands that I am this Atma, I am part and parcel of Krishna, He is my Supreme Father, my real position is to serve Him, my real Ananda is with Him. then what is the position of that person who attains real ego? So there is a very nice verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 8 chapter 274th verse. Stavara jangam dekhe na dekhe tara murti sarvatra haya nija ishta deva spurti. It mentioned that the Mahabhagavat, so when a person attains this platform, real ego, when he becomes pure devotee of Krishna, attains this platform, and what happens? The advanced devotee certainly sees everything, mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms, because forms is all illusion. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifest form of the Supreme Lord everywhere. Whatever you will see, you will say, oh, Krishna has designed this body so nicely. Krishna has designed all these trees so nicely. He is the artist behind everything. And He is present in the heart of each and every Jiva Paramatma who is making this body work. He will never be able to see anything disconnected from the Lord. Just like you see outside some beautiful flowers are blooming there. Immediately the thought should come in the mind, who has designed these flowers? Who has invested his fragrance in these flowers? The thought should come that Krishna is the person behind it. Everywhere I see so many human beings, every person has different face, different bodily style, everybody is different, every Atma is different. Even if there are twins, they may look like same only outside externally, but their behavior will be different. You cannot say twins mean same only everything. No. Every Atma is different, nature is different. Who has designed so many varieties? In scriptures we read 84 lakh species. Where are all those 84 lakh species? So many varieties. So Stavara Jangam Dekhi, Na Dekhi Tara Murti, Na Dekhi Tara Murti. There is no place in this creation where a person with real ego, the real ego is, I am part and parcel of Krishna. I am part of His creation. There is nothing which is disconnected from the Lord. I am not independent. I am also dependent on Him only. So that person will see everywhere presence of Krishna. And the person with false ego, everywhere he will see absence of God. So they will have a scientific explanation. No, because of Prakriti like this. But nature has that because of all these factors, this is happening. Other day we were discussing about Newton. He found out law of gravitation. But he should ask next question, law banaya kisne? Law of gravitation is there. Who created law of gravitation? So they will say, no, nature is there. Nature has created everything. Nature is working. Who is running the nature? Krishna says, Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sachara. That they will not ask. Next question. But devotees means who are real scientists. They don't want to be convinced or satisfied with immediate cause. They want to understand cause of all causes. Ultimate cause, who is behind everything. I want to understand that. I am not satisfied with the immediate cause. Now suppose rains are happening here, they will say, oh, because of southwest winds and the cyclone in this thing, some pressure, high pressure, low pressure. Who created these laws? Who is creating? Go behind these laws. Understand who is running behind everything. Who is running this entire show. So because pure devotees, they see like that. They are real scientists. Like Brahmaji explains, he is a topmost scientist in this entire world. He says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Sarva Karana. Cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam is Krishna is behind there as a director. He is running the entire show. Correct? But people with false ego, they identify with this body, they don't see anything beyond this body, and they live their life only for this body and bodily identifications. Correct? So there is a very nice pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, now Brahmaji created some Prajapatis in this creation, beginning of this creation. Who are Prajapatis? Prajapatis means they are meant to increase human population in this entire creation. Not only human, all the population, different varieties of population in this entire creation. Correct? So, one of the Prajapatis is called Daksh Maharaj. He is very famous. So, his one of the daughters, youngest daughter, her name is Sati. She got married to Lord Shiva. So Daksh Maharaj thought Shiva is my son-in-law, so he is junior than me. Like that he thought. So there was one assembly in which all the devtas were present, and Daksh Maharaj went there. All other personalities stood up and they started paying the respect. But Lord Brahma, who is again father of Daksh Maharaj, and Lord Shiva were sitting in their place as it is. They did not stand to show respect to Daksh Maharaj. But at that time, Lord Shiva was fully absorbed in meditation on the Lord. He was meditating on Vishnu, fully absorbed. You'll always see Lord Shiva is sitting meditation. He's meditating always on Vishnu, the Lord. He's a Param Vaishnava in Bhagavatam. So he was fully absorbed. So when Daksh Maharaj saw that, he became offended. He became disturbed. How come this son-in-law is not showing me respect? So he started cursing him. And then he announced in front of anyone that he will not be any more part of any of my sacrifices. If I perform any sacrifice yajna, I will never invite him for this. And he started offending Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva, he tolerated everything and he left that place and went there. Now again, after some time, Daksh Maharaj, he organized another very big yajna, sacrifice. And he invited all his family members, relatives, all the devtas. It was on a very big scale, universal level. But he consciously avoided Lord Shiva and his wife Sati. So Sati was observing, all my relatives are going, just like suppose there's some program is there in the society, and you're not invited. Everybody is going there, the clubhouse. So the question will come in your mind, why everybody is going there? What is happening? Right? So Sati was observing, everybody is nicely dressed up, all are going for this yajna, and the father is offering such a grand sacrifice. He is not inviting me. Why it is like that? So she was observing all that, and then she thought, I should still go. After all, he is my father only. He is not such a big. So then she approached her husband. No, I want to go there, although my father has not invited me. I should go there. So Lord Shiva tried to convince her, no, don't go. If your father has not invited you, he is consciously trying to avoid you. Don't go there. He will not give you proper respect. So still, she persisted and then by force she went away. So when she went there, no, so Daksh Maharaj, wife and sister of Sati, they all received her nicely, but Daksh Maharaj was avoiding her. He was not giving respect. So Sati observed that when this sacrifice was happening, Daksh Maharaj avoided Sati, her involvement in this entire thing. So she became very disturbed. And she became moreover disturbed because she knew what is position of Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is not an ordinary personality. He is a pure devotee of the Lord. He is a pure Vaishnava. And he is not even a Jeev Tattva like us. He is above Jeev Tattva category. And he is transcendental, beyond his false ego. He is not living his life in his bodily conceptual life. But Daksh Maharaj was not aware of all these things. He thought he's an ordinary person and he applies ashes on his body, there are snakes on his neck. He remains always contaminated with all these things. And he's my son-in-law, junior to me. Like that was the thought process of Daksh Maharaj. So when this was happening, Sati initially wanted to protect her father from offending Lord Shiva. But because he was not ready to accept anything from her, and in fact invited his own daughter, so she became so disturbed that in that very place she gave up her body. By using her mystic power, she burned her body. That is. And after that, when Lord Shiva heard this entire incident, he became very angry, became like fire. Correct? So then he created one demon, Virabhadra, and immediately sent him with other demons to attack the sacrificial arena of Daksh Maharaj. They all went there and they killed Daksh Maharaj and all his associates who were appreciating his work, who were supporting him in this understanding. And like that, they created a lot of problems for everyone. All the devtas they ran away from that place, and Lord Shiva became very angry with all this. So that time, all the devtas they went and approached Lord Brahma for help. So Lord Brahma asked all the devtas that you have to go and approach Lord Shiva and beg forgiveness from him. You all have offended him. He is not an ordinary personality like you. He is above this false identification of this body. So all the devtas they went there and asked for forgiveness. And then Lord Shiva, when he got pleased by their prayers, so Daksh Maharaj was beheaded. His head was cut off by this demon. So Lord Shiva gave him a head of a goat and he brought him back to life. So it is mentioned in 4th canto, one who is conducted by false ego and thus always distressed both mentally and sensually, cannot tolerate the opulence of self-realized persons, like it happened in case of Daksh Maharaj. Sometimes what happens, people who are in false ego, ahankara, they generally become envious of devotees. They don't appreciate their work. They become envious. Like Srila Prabhupada used to say many times, that in our Hare Krishna movement, devotees simply chant and dance and read, and still Krishna provides everything to them. So sometimes people will be envious. These devotees don't work, they simply chant and dance and they do preaching activities, and Krishna provides everything. Correct? Actually, Krishna is ready to provide for everyone. We don't want to take. We want to work hard. We want to work as per our false ego. We want to be independent. So what Krishna can do that? Krishna is providing to 84 lakh species. Hunger problem is only in among human beings. There is no hunger problem among all other species. Correct? So, being unable to rise to the standard of self-realization, he envies such persons as much as demons envy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, people with false ego, demonic nature, they not only envy devotees of Krishna, they even envy Krishna himself. They don't want to accept his supremacy. So when they write interpretations, their own interpretation Bhagavad Gita, and where Krishna says clearly, Sar Dharman Parityajya Ma Ekam Sharanam Raja. Krishna is asking you, come to me, surrender unto me, take my shelter. They write in their translation, oh no, it is not to Krishna. Mam is not Krishna. Don't go and surrender to the Lord. Man mana, mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Krishna is asking, chant my holy name. Remember me always, Mad Bhakto, become my devotee. They will write, no, Mam is not Krishna. They write their own translations, interpretations. Why? Because these interpretations are coming from false ego. Real ego is when you accept your position. I am subordinate to Krishna. I am his part and parcel. Correct? So it is mentioned that one who is conducted by a false ego thus always distressed both mentally and sensually. Is it true? How? How it is true? So what happens when we work on false ego? Then we rely on the results of our activities for our happiness. If a person becomes very famous on social media platform, then for him the happiness is that many likes, comments, followers. So his happiness is stuck with them because he has defined his happiness with that false ego. So he will be stuck there. Anything happens there, if he loses his fame, everything is gone. Correct? Or some people are bodily conscious, beauty, fitness. So when they are nearing old age, they are concerned, oh, I will lose my beauty, everything will go away. So their happiness is stuck with this body. And they work very hard. They do take all types of drugs, whatever is there, they do everything to keep this as it is, but nothing is working as per your direction. So it is mentioned that false ego makes a person mentally and sensually distressed. Cannot be always happy. Cannot be always in Ananda. So like this, Daksh Maharaj got this goat's head and then he realized his mistake. That Lord Shiva is not ordinary personality. He immediately approached him and begged forgiveness from him. And then he performed tapasya for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu also. Lord appeared in this temple. That is a last name. So anyway, Lord Shiva was not disturbed by all this thing. But Lord Shiva actually wanted to correct him, correct his understanding. That is why he showed his anger. So when it came to his personal self, when Daksha Maharaj was directly offending Lord Shiva, that time he never got disturbed because he is out of this false ego. But later on, out of compassion, when he saw this happen with Sati, that time what to do? Make him understand. So Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter, one who is not envious, but who is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a provider, who is free from false ego and equal both in happiness and distress, who is always satisfied and engaged in devotional service with determination, and whose mind and talents are in agreement with me, he is very dear to me. This is a formula. We want to become very dear to Krishna. If you don't know anything in Bhagavad Gita, but you know this part, how can I become very dear to Krishna? This is a formula. Formula is that Krishna is asking us to become free from enviousness towards any living entity. If you are not envious of any living entity, that means you are friend of everyone. You can be friend with everyone if you are out of this bodily consciousness. I am Hindu, I am Indian, I am this thing, I am that thing. It will create only enviousness. When you are out of this bodily consciousness, then you can think everybody on equal platform. And then it is mentioned that he is equal both in happiness and distress. How a devotee can become happiness and distress equal? Huh? Chanting all the time, but what happens in his consciousness? But when distress is there, then what happens? What thought process is there? A devotee think it is because of my own. What Lord has to do with it? I have done some karma, I am getting some distress, that's it. And this distress is also happening to this body. I have nothing to do with this body. So I will tolerate. Same thing happened with Arjuna also. Arjuna was concerned, how can I kill my family members? How can I kill Vrajraj? How can I kill Bhishma Pitama? Even after Krishna instructed him, no, you are a Kshatriya, you have to fight with them, they have taken the wrong side, they are against Dharma, you have to kill them. Arjuna asking, no, even if I fight on Dharma, anything I do, I have to kill them, and there is a pain I will experience if I kill them. What to do with that pain if I kill them and experience that pain? Krishna is asking him to tolerate that pain. Arjuna, you rise above this falsehood. For dharma, you have to tolerate so-called happiness and pain which is there. Why? Because Krishna explains who is always satisfied and engaged in devotional determination. And this is only possible when your mind and intelligence are in agreement. Bhagavad Gita में जो बोला है, I will follow it as it is. That is called agreement. Not that Krishna will tell you something and then you think, no, I will do it in a different way. Some seva is given, no, आपने बताया, but I will do something else. What suits me, what my intelligence says that I will do. Your intelligence is tiny intelligence. Krishna's intelligence is how much you know. What do you know about his creation? Huh? Krishna is talking from a universal platform. He has seen all your past thousands and millions of janmas, what you have done in this world. He knows the entire picture. So better I take guidance from Krishna and follow him as it is. My intelligence is tiny. So in 28th verse, you mentioned that Tattva Vittu Mahabaho Guna Karma Vibhagayo Guna Guneshu Vartanta Iti Matvana Sanchiti. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, O mighty arm, does not engage himself in senses and sense gratification, knowing well the differences between work in devotion and work for results. When a person is trying to become free from false ego, first thing he will do is avoid as much as possible sense gratificatory activities. Because Krishna explains in the 5th chapter, Yehi sansparshaja bhoga dukkha yona evate. This activity of sense gratification is actually cause for dukkha, not happiness, the other way around. What example? That sense gratification is dukkha. Anybody remembers the example? Yes?
People drink alcohol and after
Correct. Anything from Prakriti? Prakriti also teaching us many examples. Anybody remembers any example? Example of a camel eating thorns. So when a camel eats thorns, then what happens? These thorns they prick inside the mouth of camel, and then what happens? The blood comes out. But camel is thinking, oh, there is a lot of juice coming out. So much of happiness is there. But camel is losing his own blood. So-called happiness is losing his own blood. So Krishna is saying, Ye sansparshaja bhoka dukkha yona evati. It's actually dukkha, the other way around. You're losing your own blood. It's so-called happiness. It's not happiness, it's illusion. These are illusory elements. There is no rust in cactus plant. Actually, it's meant to give dukkha, but camel is thinking there is enjoyment. Correct? So Krishna explains in next Prakriti guna sammuda sajante guna karmasu tan akrisna vido mandan Krishna vinna vichale. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached, but the wise shall not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to performance lack of knowledge. So wise Those who are wise, those who are pure devotees of Krishna, transcend the platform. They help people, those who are engaged in fruitive activity, to rise above that platform in a step-by-step manner. So he is fully attached to his roots, right now engaging in material activities. So what they will do, they will guide him. Okay, you engage your results in Krishna service. You cannot give up right now. You are attached to all these activities. You engage your activities in this Krishna service. Engage the results of activities in devotion service to Krishna. That way, your material activities will become spiritualized. So Krishna explains, Vihaya Kaman Yasarvan Umaschariti Nispara Nirmamo Nirankara Shantim Adi Gacchati. A person who has given up all desire for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense of proprietorship, and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. Entire world is talking about where is peace. Shanti Kamili. They all want Shanti. This is a formula of Shanti. Real peace कैसे मिलेगा? Give up all desires for sense gratification. Stop running behind these activities. Give up a sense of proprietorship. This body is my property. This world is my property. I am meant to enjoy everything. This body is not created by you. The senses are not created by you. The sense objects also around you are not created by you. Nothing belongs to you. So when a person becomes free from this ahankara, when he becomes fully free from this misconception, there is nothing in this world which belongs to me. Everything is meant for Krishna's pleasure, Ananda. Yes, when I will utilize everything in Krishna's service for his Ananda, I will also get Ananda. I will not be bereft of Ananda then. But this is the process of experiencing real Ananda. So when a person becomes free from all this false ego, engages everything in Krishna's service, that person only can attain real peace. Till the person is trying to utilize, exploit anything in this world which is not his property, which actually belongs to the Lord, he will always be in anxiety. That is a material word is termed as kuntha. Kuntha means place of anxiety. Always there is anxiety. Real peace is only possible when you understand everything in this world I have used for Lord's seva. And it is mentioned that unless until a person is not peaceful, he cannot experience real ananda. Real ananda exists only on when a person is first peaceful. If you are not peaceful, you don't know anything about ananda. What is real ananda? One who is not motivated by false ego, whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in this world, is not the slave, nor he is bound by his actions. What Krishna explains to Arjuna, another question of Arjuna was that if I kill so many living entities in this Mahabharata, battlefield of Mahabharata, I will get a lot of sinful reaction. Krishna is asking that if you fight without false ego, if you fight with your real ego, what is real ego? I am actually part and parcel of Krishna, I am meant to act under his direction. When you act as per your real ego, then there is no reaction to your activities. That is called akarma, no reaction. So our life is meant to live on the standard of akarma, without false ego, on the platform of real ego, where we utilize everything for Krishna's pleasure, for his ananda. Like the food we eat, sometimes people think, oh, vegetarian, non-vegetarian. Which food Bhagavad Gita is promoting? Vegetarian, non-vegetarian? Huh? Sattvic? Which food Bhagavad Gita is promoting? Not sattvic, not vegetarian, not non-vegetarian. Krishna is promoting prasadam. Even if you are eating sattvic food, there is karma, reaction. Anything you eat, there is reaction. Yes, when you kill animals, the level of sinful reaction is much more high as compared to the jivas. But even in vegetarian food, you are killing jivas. So when the food is prepared for the pleasure of the Lord, when you offer that food to the Lord, and then you consume that food which is prasadam, is the only food in this world which is free from all kinds of reaction. Not only food, entire life is meant to live in this concept of prasadam. Prasadam means? Prasadam means mercy of the Lord. So all our actions are meant to be in this concept of prasadam. Everything should be sanctioned by the Lord. Not only prasadam. Everything I do in this world, I understand this body is given by Krishna to me. I utilize it everything as per Krishna's direction. Like Arjuna is fighting. He is fighting only as per order of Krishna. Personally, he is not interested in fighting with his own family members. He is not interested in fighting with his guru, Bhishma Pitama. No, he is not interested at all. He is not even interested in fighting for this property in Hastinapur. In fact, he asked Krishna, Lord, let me go to a forest. I am not interested in this fight. I don't want this property. I don't want kingdom. And Krishna asked him, this fight is not arranged for satisfying your false ego. This fight is arranged for me. Krishna has arranged this fight. He wanted Yudhishthira Maharaj to become the king because Duryodhana was not following principles of Vedic culture. Similarly, a person, if he can use his common sense, understanding Bhagavad Gita, every moment he can live as per direction of Bhagavad Gita. That activity will give him real peace and ananda. There is nothing else which can satisfy the Atma, nothing else which can give us real ananda, nothing else in this entire creation can satisfy us, give us real peace.
What was he in the last verse?
So I will conclude this with a very nice a portion of paragraph in light of Bhagavata. No one can adjust the sufferings of material existence, but by spiritual culture, one can elevate himself from the effects of such miserable life. As an example, one may cite that the condition of a dry coconut. The dry coconut pulp automatically becomes separated from its outer skin. Similarly, the outer skin or the gross and subtle material coverings of the soul automatically separates from the spirit soul, and the spirit soul can then exist in spiritual existence. Even though apparently within the dry skin, this freedom from the false sense of ego is called the liberation of soul. So, like coconut inside shell gets separated from the outside. Like that, when we practice Krishna consciousness, when we engage every moment devotion service to Krishna, always chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, practicing principle Bhagavad Gita in our life, every moment is spent like that. What happens? This Atma will get separated from the outside covering which is there and will become free from this false ego. This false ego will get dissolved. Right now we don't see that difference between us and this body. But by practicing this bhakti process, devotion service, this Atma will get separated from this outside covering. And a time will come, you will see yourself separate from this outside covering. Just like when you sit inside the car, you can see a clear difference between you and the car. You don't misidentify with yourself with the car. Of course, if you're too much attached to your car, then it's very difficult. So, still, You can see the difference between you and the car. Similarly, this difference you can experience in this body. And this is the goal of human form life. This is called liberation. Liberation is not that after death only I will get liberation. Even in this life, you can experience liberation. And this is how it is mentioned. When the shell of the coconut will get separated from the outside coating. So this is the level of life which is called beyond false ego. And we are meant to experience this life beyond this false ego in which all of us are trapped in. That is called real advancement in spiritual life. Spiritual life is not about some rituals, some other activities, just going to dham. No. Spiritual activities shows real advancement means how much you have become free from this false ego. How much you have becoming closer to real ego. That is called real advancement in human form life. So if we can go beyond this false ego, then only we can experience real peace and happiness in our life. And this is what Krishna explained in this entire Bhagavad Gita. That is why Krishna is asking that you serve Dharman, you give up all the misconception, your ideas, your understanding about this life. Follow my instructions. Don't add your own speculation. Correct? So like that, I will end here. If anybody has any question, they can ask. Okay, so some announcements are there. So we are planning to have Sri Lanka Ramayana Yatra, correct, 26 July to 1st of August. So you can join us for this extraordinary trip. We are going to visit all the important pastime places of Ramayana in Sri Lanka. With a lot of discussions like this, a lot of kirtans, and full day you will be there with the devotees. Suraj, Mal. And next Ekadashi is on 11th of June. So Ekadashi is very dear to Krishna this day. So on this day, if we dedicate more and more time in devotional service to Krishna, then we can go more closer to a real ego. And the best seva for the Lord Krishna says, Sevan Mukha Jiva. Use your tongue for my pleasure. Chant my holy names. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra more and more. Correct.
One question. Why there are different names for the Ekadashi? Like
Different?
names are given for Ekadashi.
We don't follow that. That is mostly Karam Kanda. We follow in Bhakti. All Ekadashis are equal. So, we are also conducting every day Bhagavad Gita online sessions Monday to Friday, 8 to 8:30 on Zoom platform, so that every day we are connected with this knowledge. So hearing is very important. Why important? Because we forget. Just like today you have heard so much. Tomorrow if I ask you, everything will go. So every day we have to hear. And I request devotees to share all the session details with your friends and relatives who are living, especially South Mumbai and nearby areas. They can also come and join us for the sessions. And every Sunday we arrange lunch prasad for all the devotees. If you wish, you can sponsor one of the Sundays. So today's prasadam is being sponsored by Varunji and family. So we will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times for them. So we'll chant now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the best way to please all the devotees by serving prasadam to everyone. And a very important instruction, while you are taking prasadam, please make sure before you leave, this classroom is clean, even the outside area, even the dustbin area, how you discard, how you eat, you have to keep it everything clean. If anything spills nearby your place, you have to clean it before you leave. There is no housekeeping staff dedicated for our cleaning in this classroom and outside area. We only have to clean everything. So make sure if anything falls down from your plate, anything spills here and there, you clean that area nicely, and after that only leave this classroom. Even the dustbin area, when you're discarding plates, properly discard the plates. Don't throw it here and there. Correct? So in that way, we show proper etiquettes. Cleanliness is next to godliness. So they should see that these people are learning Bhagavad Gita. They are not coming from other people. And also, I request all devotees to come on time. If you really want to relish these lectures on Bhagavad Gita, please join us before 11 o'clock. Don't come after that, because you are not connected with the entire flow of the class. Correct? So, if you really want to come and attend, come before 11 o'clock. Or otherwise, plan next Sunday, like that you plan. Don't come in between or late. It will not, again, it will be disturbance for other devotees sitting here. Correct? So, come 11 o'clock or before that. Okay, so now we'll chant one mala Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Is there anyone who is not aware how to chant a mala? How to hold a mala? Anyone is there? Okay. So, how to chant on the beats, I will show you now. We'll hold the mala in our right hand. We don't use index finger for chanting. This is called head beat. Head beat के आगे वाली जो beat है वहाँ से हम लोग chanting start करेंगे. We'll move the beats inside the hand with the thumb like this. And on every beat, we'll be chanting mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. We have to chant this mantra audibly, not in the mind. We have to chant in here. This is a process. So we'll chant now. Namo